All right, next item on the agenda is summer camp school report.
Mary Ann, you gotta scroll down to what's up
There-
first, summer school?
Yep. So there are two reports that we report out on at this time every year. The first one is summer school, and the second one is summer camp.
One of the questions noted was the revenue related to the number of students, the course fees. As is the case in anything, those students who haven't paid those fees are incurred or placed on their fee statements, just like, with summer camps or sport camps. So if the numbers don't balance, doing the multiplication, 19 times 2, 200, it's because some of those students' fees for those courses have been now put on their fee statements, so they haven't paid those fees.
Or some of them were waived.
Or some were waived, yes, sir. If I may go to number 2, band orientation was a question. It is teaching marching band procedures is what that is. And that's obviously, if you look at them on the football field and any other event, it's pretty intensive. I know I couldn't do it. The reason, if I could slide all the way to the right, surplus deficit, the reason it looks like we've lost money is because waived students that didn't pay, which totaled, I believe if this is an accurate number, and I believe it is, $8,450. But since we recovered $9,170 through Title I money, we had a surplus of $3,800 when you're doing all the math throughout, $3,813 to be exact. So with the money we receive for the at-risk students annually, we could change the columns and the way we report out, but it isn't in deficit. It's actually has a $3,813 surplus based on the totals of all of the categories. And for this year, which was a very exciting, I know for Kristen and the staff, definitely student services as well, credit recovery ran for the first time with a second session. The numbers it did, it was really exciting to have those number of students participating in that.
Tim, explain Title I grant real quick so that the board understands.
Title I grant is money that we receive from, it's federal money that comes through the state. It's for disadvantaged students. When we initially write the grant, we have to set aside a certain amount of money for supplemental educational services, and if students don't sign up for that, then we can reallocate the money. And part of the money we reallocated from that was we reallocated to summer school.
I thought this summer, considering all the things, because summer school is always a struggle, it was a great opportunity for some of our students who were participating and took advantage of it, especially our summer grads, which numbered a dozen. All didn't participate in the ceremonies, but to have those students be able to move on was very exciting. That was the Apex program directly.
So really the only course that Kristen ran at somewhat of a deficit was biology, earth science, and those are a lot of our at-risk learners. And we wanted to make sure are getting caught up in their science credit, correct?
Correct, and all of those students actually took biology, so that was their freshman level science course. So we felt it was important that they have that foundation before moving on.
And excitingly, it may not be much there, some of us or some people, but we didn't have any major issues in summer school. Kids were there to learn. It was very exciting, and we were able to manage and keep it in zones and really work it so it was cost effective for us as a district. It was very exciting to work with Joel and work with Kristen, and I think we really pulled it off. Probably one of the best I've seen in the time I've been here.
All right, any questions on summer school revenue expenses? Seeing none, let's move on to summer camps. Art?
Yeah, so the chart just shows once again that our summer camps were cost neutral. The one question, and it sort of the same answer as John regarding why the number of athletes in camp fee and the revenue doesn't quite, not in all cases it's equal. Some cases a camp room only came to half the camp, so they only paid half the fee, so your number would be lower. And then there's a few other cases where revenue is actually higher than the number of kids. What occurred there is a kid paid for it, and then we reimbursed him at the tail end because he never came. So we just took that out as supplies without making another chart. So it was still, the money came in, money came out. But the actual number of athletes were the amount of kids that actually participated in that camp. But that's why the numbers don't match on that. But it was a good summer. It's hard to compare every year because it's not just high school kids, it's across the board. But we did see our badminton camp almost doubled from last year. Boys and girls volleyball went up quite a bit. Girls and boys tennis went up. Gymnastics went up. Wrestling went up. So we had some really nice turnouts. The only one that was down was actually boys basketball, and that's because we didn't do one camp. So, but the numbers are pretty equal from last year, and it was a good summer.
Any questions for Art on the summer camps? Art, I got one question for you. So, as we've thrown out for the clubs, I'm throwing out for you. How do we get more attendance or more awareness with 8th graders coming in about our camps and making sure that they're aware of it?
Well, for summer camp stuff, we try to send flyers to the grade schools prior to, and then we have the newsletter, I think, that goes home to incoming freshmen about the summer camps. We do we've done the last few years, and we're going to do again a Day of Champions, which we reach out to the grade schools and get them over here and get them interested in athletics. And obviously then with our website and things like that, just try to get as much information out there as possible.
Okay. Any other questions for Art?
All right, what's another big thing too, though, with that is that we're seeing more and more 8th graders coming in and they want to specialize.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the 3-sport athlete is just not there anymore. I mean, that's not an RB issue. That's a statewide issue. The kids are now specializing more and more in one sport, or maybe they'll go 2. But yeah, our 3-sport athletes just are not occurring. A lot of people are in their off season are going to that specialist and working on that specific sport. So it's a challenge. We try to get them out and say, be athletic and just come and play. But a lot of them want to focus on a sport or 2.